Welcome to Cheater Confessions. Let's get started with today's story. I still remember that Friday evening as if it just happened. Our second anniversary was on Saturday, and I had everything ready. The reservation was at Del Mar, the restaurant where Sylvia and I first said, "I love you." I'd even booked the same corner table by the window. The plan was simple but meaningful. Dinner, champagne, and a silver bracelet that I customized for Sylvia. I'd saved for 3 months to get that bracelet made. The box sat on the counter beside me while Sylvia came in from work, scrolling through her phone. I smiled, ready to tell her about tomorrow. "Hey," I said, "I booked us a table at Del Mar for tomorrow. Same place as our first date." She didn't even look up. "Tomorrow?" "Yeah," I said. "Our anniversary." She froze, eyes flicking up from the screen. "Oh no!" "What?" "I completely forgot," she said, wincing. "Lisa's throwing a last-minute girls' night tomorrow. I already told her I'd go. I can't back out now." I blinked. "You forgot?" "I know," she said quickly, slipping her phone into her bag. "But we can celebrate Sunday instead." "Same thing, right?" I let out a small laugh, though nothing about it felt funny. "Same thing," I repeated. She grinned like it was settled. "You're the best. I promise we'll make Sunday special." "Sure," I said quietly. "Have fun with the girls." "Love you," she said, already halfway down the hall. I looked at the bracelet box on the counter, still unopened. It was supposed to mean something tomorrow. Now it just sat there, silent proof that one of us remembered, and the other didn't. I opened a bottle of wine I'd bought and drank one glass alone. Then I noticed her latest story. Sylvia at home, trying on a glittery dress. The caption read, "Girls' Night Loading." That was the moment I realized this wasn't about a mix-up. It was about priorities, and mine clearly weren't hers anymore. I poured another glass and thought, fine. If tomorrow's supposed to be a celebration, someone should still get to enjoy it. The next morning, I woke up early, stared at the reservation confirmation on my phone, and thought about canceling. But then I remembered the restaurant's policy, no refunds for cancellations. I scrolled through my messages until I saw one from Cindy, Sylvia's cousin. She'd reacted to my story of the flower delivery I'd arranged for Sylvia's office. "Those are beautiful. Someone's lucky." Her message sat there, simple and kind. Cindy had always been that way, polite, thoughtful, never crossing lines. She'd helped me once with a surprise gift for Sylvia when I didn't know her favorite brand of perfume. I'd noticed how differently she treated people. Calm, considerate, never performative. I typed before I could overthink. "Hey, weird question. Are you free tonight?" "Maybe." "Why?" she replied. "Sylvia had to cancel our anniversary dinner. I have a reservation I can't move. It would be a waste not to use it. Not a date, just dinner between friends." There was a pause. Then, "If it's really not a date, sure. But I'm not taking her place." "You're not?" "I just don't want to eat alone at a table for two." Sylvia spent that evening getting ready for her night out. She looked incredible. New black dress, gold earrings. "How do I look?" she asked. I smiled. "Beautiful." She kissed my cheek, said, "Don't wait up," and left at 8. I waited 10 minutes, then changed into a clean shirt, grabbed the bracelet box, and headed out. Cindy was waiting outside the restaurant in a dark green dress, nothing flashy. She smiled when she saw me. "You look good." "You too," I said. Dinner was easy. We talked about work, movies, and small things that somehow mattered more than they should. She listened when I spoke, no phone in hand, no glancing around the room. After dessert, I pushed the bracelet box across the table. "I can't return it," I said. "Might as well give it to someone who actually showed up." Cindy blinked. "Darren, I can't take this. Please. It was meant to make someone feel appreciated. Tonight, that's you." She hesitated, then smiled faintly. "Okay, but you know people will talk." "Let them," I said. She posted a picture later, just her hand wearing the bracelet captioned, "Some gifts find the right person at the right time." By the time I got home, her post had hundreds of likes. I didn't think much of it. Not yet. Sylvia didn't come home that night. Her last story went up around 2 in the morning. A blurry video of flashing club lights, her arm around her friends. No message, no call, no text. I placed my phone on the counter and sat in the quiet, realizing the night had gone exactly how it was supposed to, just not the way I'd imagined. The next day, I woke to my phone buzzing nonstop. 32 missed calls, a wall of unread messages. The first one came in at 3:18 a.m. What the hell is this? Why is Cindy wearing a bracelet you bought? You'd better answer me right now. By 8:30, she was at the apartment. You gave my anniversary gift to my cousin? She shouted. Good morning to you too, I said evenly. Rough night? Don't play games with me, Darren. You humiliated me. Everyone's talking about that post. I kept my voice calm. You said you couldn't come. You were at the club, remember? That's not the point, she snapped. You don't take her out instead. Do you know how this looks? I know how it looks, I said. You forgot our anniversary. You picked a party over me. I didn't want the table or the night to go to waste. She blinked, struggling to form words. It's not the same thing. Funny, I said. That's exactly what you told me. Her face flushed red. You're twisting this. It was one night with friends. You could have waited. For what? Sunday? So you could pretend nothing happened? She grabbed the empty wine bottle from the counter and threw it into the trash, glass shattering. You need to fix this. Tell her to delete the post and give me the bracelet back. No, I said quietly. She stared at me like she couldn't believe what she'd heard. Excuse me? You canceled our plans. You told me our anniversary could wait. It's not my problem you don't like how that looks now. You made me look like a fool, she said, her voice trembling. I didn't make you anything, I said. You did that yourself. She turned, stormed out of the living room, and slammed the door so hard that the picture frame near it fell. That was the moment I knew we weren't just fighting. We were done. By Sunday evening, Sylvia had taken the fight public. Her Instagram story began with a black screen and white text. When the person you love betrays you, there's no coming back. I didn't respond. Silence speaks louder than explanation when the truth's on your side. But others didn't stay quiet for long. Emily, one of Sylvia's friends, commented under the post, "Didn't you cancel your anniversary dinner for a girls' night?" Emily texted me afterward, "I'm sorry she's doing this. She's twisting the story to save face." I figured. Don't worry about it, I replied. That night, Cindy called me. She offered me $500 to give the bracelet back, she said. I sighed. She's not handling this well. She keeps saying it's hers because you bought it for your anniversary, Cindy added. I told her gifts stop belonging to you once you give them away. I smiled at her logic. Good answer. By Tuesday, Sylvia had doubled her offer to $1,000. Cindy politely refused again. I stayed out of it, letting her deal with it her own way. Then, Wednesday afternoon, Sylvia appeared at my office unannounced, carrying a takeout bag and a smile that didn't reach her eyes. Can we talk? She asked, loud enough for half my floor to hear. My coworker Sawyer looked up from his desk. That's the girlfriend who skipped your anniversary? Sylvia froze. Excuse me? Sawyer didn't flinch. Just making sure I've got the right person. Her fake smile cracked. We had a misunderstanding, she said sharply. I stood, calm but firm. You made a choice, Sylvia. Don't turn it into something it wasn't. She set the food down on my desk. I just wanted to apologize. Maybe we can talk? No, I said. There's nothing left to talk about. As the door closed behind her, I knew the story wasn't over. Not because I wanted it to continue, but because she didn't know how to let it end. By Friday, the whole thing had grown beyond us. A mid-sized YouTuber who ran a gossip channel posted a video titled, Girl Skips Anniversary Gets Replaced by Cousin. It used screenshots from Cindy's post, Sylvia's stories, and comments from mutual friends. The video hit 500,000 views in a day. That night, Sylvia burst through the bedroom door, waving her phone like it was evidence in a trial. You did this, she yelled. I looked up. Did what? The video. You made this happen. I didn't make a video, Sylvia. You made it possible, she snapped. You gave her the bracelet. You let her post it. She didn't tag me, I said evenly, and I didn't tell her to post anything. You're the one who made your account public and told the world your side first. She glared at me, breathing hard. You think this is funny? People are messaging me, calling me selfish. I'm being harassed. Then stop feeding the fire, I said quietly. Log off. I'm an influencer, Darren. I can't disappear. Then deal with the attention you asked for. Her jaw tightened. She stood there for a few seconds, shaking her head, then turned and slammed the door. An hour later, Emily texted me, "You might want to see this." She sent screenshots. Sylvia had been texting a guy named Eddie from her gym for months. The messages weren't explicit, but they crossed the line. "You make workouts bearable. If I were single, things would be dangerous. Don't tempt me," Emily added. She told us she was just being friendly. But it's more than that. I didn't respond right away. I didn't even feel angry. I just felt done. 3 weeks later, things had finally gone quiet online. The video's momentum had slowed, Sylvia's follower count had dropped, and people had mostly moved on. She'd packed her things and left the apartment a few days after our last fight. That's when Cindy texted me an invitation. "There's a small art night on Friday. I'm helping organize it. Come by if you want a break from all the noise." I said yes. It felt harmless. A quiet evening. No drama. No cameras. Or so I thought. When I arrived, the space was packed with local artists and students. Cindy was near the entrance. She smiled when she saw me. "You made it." "I said I would," I told her. "Looks great in here." For the first time in weeks, things felt normal, until a familiar voice cut through the crowd. "Well, this is cozy." Sylvia stood a few feet away, wearing a tight red dress and an expression that could slice glass. On her arm was Aaron, a coworker I'd seen once at her office party. The poor guy looked like he'd rather be anywhere else. Cindy stiffened beside me. "Sylvia, this is neither the time nor the place." Sylvia laughed sharply. "Oh, relax, Cindy. I just came to see the man who replaced me with my cousin." A few people nearby turned to listen. I kept my tone even. "You're really doing this here?" "I'm not hiding anymore," she said. "Everyone should know what kind of person you are." Cindy stepped forward, her voice calm but firm. "You humiliated yourself, Sylvia. Darren didn't have to do anything. You told the internet everything." Sylvia turned on her. "You stole from me." "The bracelet? The dinner? You gave those up," Cindy said. "You just can't stand that someone else values them." Aaron's eyes flicked between us. "Wait," he said to Sylvia quietly. "I thought he forgot the anniversary." Her silence said enough. He took a step back, muttering, "I'm not doing this," and walked out. Sylvia's face crumpled for half a second before she spun on her heel and left. Cindy exhaled. "I didn't mean for it to get that messy." "Don't worry," I said. "That was her doing." That night the air felt lighter. Not because I'd won anything, just because there was nothing left to defend. The following week, Sylvia tried one last comeback. She appeared on a small podcast called Heart Talk Unfiltered, claiming she'd been emotionally manipulated by me and that I'd used Cindy to get back at her. I didn't react right away, but by that afternoon my phone started blowing up again, not with anger, but laughter. Someone had clipped part of the interview where Sylvia contradicted herself. "So, you're saying he planned an anniversary dinner to hurt you?" the host asked. "Yes," she replied. "But didn't you just say you forgot the anniversary?" the host argued. Long silence. Then an awkward laugh. "Well, that's not the point." It took less than 2 hours for the podcast to get taken down. But it was too late. People had screen recorded everything. Comments flooded her page. "Pick a story and stick to it. Maybe don't skip anniversaries next time." Her follower count dropped by hundreds overnight. Even her small brand sponsor quietly unfollowed her. The next day, Diana, her mother, called me. "Darren," she said, "she's miserable. Can't you just post something to calm things down?" Sorry, Diana," I said evenly. "I'm not adding to the noise." She made her choices. "She's young," she said softly. "People make mistakes." "She's not sorry about what she did," I said. "She's sorry it went public." There was silence for a moment, then a sigh. "You're not wrong." After that, I stopped checking Sylvia's pages altogether. She finally went dark online a few days later. Meanwhile, Cindy and I started meeting for coffee every week. Nothing romantic. We talked about work, books, and life after drama. She made it easy to breathe again. Once, she said, "You know, it's weird. Something good came out of that mess." "Yeah," I said. "Sometimes it takes a storm to clear the air." It wasn't revenge. It wasn't even closure yet. It was peace. 2 months later, life had finally leveled out. The story had burned through the internet and disappeared like every other viral drama. I'd stopped checking views, stopped caring about comments. What mattered now was the quiet that came after it all. One evening, I was reading on the couch when my phone buzzed with an unknown number. The message read, "Hi, it's me. I've started therapy. I know I messed up. I just want to say I'm sorry." It was Sylvia. I stared at the message for a moment, then locked my screen. I didn't need to answer. Some things don't deserve a reply, only distance. A week later, Cindy asked if I wanted to grab dinner. "Nothing fancy," she said. "Just food that doesn't come with a side of drama." We ended up at Del Mar, the same restaurant where everything had started. "Feels strange being back here," I said. "Good strange or bad strange?" she asked. "Peaceful," I said after a moment. "Like finishing a chapter." She smiled. The silver bracelet glimmered on her wrist when she reached for her glass. "You sure you don't want it back?" "No," I said. "It ended up where it was supposed to." For a while, we just sat there, comfortable in the quiet. No phones, no audience, no pretense. Cindy broke the silence first. "You ever think about what you'd do if Sylvia hadn't forgotten?" "Yeah," I said. "And I realize now that if she hadn't, I'd still be planning around someone who never planned around me." When we left, Cindy said softly, "Next year, same place?" I smiled. "Maybe. But let's call it a celebration, not an anniversary. Because anniversaries depend on two people remembering. And I'd finally found someone who never forgets what matters." Thank you for watching.